Both players see the writing on the wall here. Farah in the finals.
What is going on, TCG enjoyers? Ascended Heroes is here, which means one of my favorite decks, the Munkidori Froslass deck, got a massive buff with the addition of Pokepad, and I've been having a lot of fun playing this deck. I'm going to regionals in this format, so I am probably going to play this. So I have some gameplay today for you to watch of me playing the deck. I have some actually really interesting games that I played with it, using like all the cards kind of in the deck. Some interesting games. The one with almost no Froslass, but I thought I would start with going over the deck. It is a pretty unique deck. You know, most decks in the format have a heavy hitter, but really you're just using Little Bidoof and its Itchy Pollen attack almost exclusively, and then you have some text that you need to use to deviate. But first I did want to give a quick shout out to Pokemon. They did send me actually a lot of Ascended Heroes product. They sent me this ETB and some of their other stuff, which was awesome. So shout out Pokemon for sending me that. I pulled some Reverse Holo Bidoos and a Reverse Holo Snorunt that I've been using in my deck at League Cups. But anyways, this list is I think pretty simple. I mean, like, I just like keeping it clean. I know a lot of people like playing the Mega Froslass, which I don't play, which I'll get into later when I get to Blood Moon. But at its core, really, like, the Monkey and the Froslass are the stars of the team. The Froslass damages your own Munkidori, so you can move the damage to your opponent's side of the field. A lot of good decks in the format rely heavily on abilities. I mean, Dragapult, like the Dragcloaks and the Dusknoirs have abilities. If you play against Gardevoir, they have their own monkeys. They have Gardevoir EX obviously an ability. If you play against any Charizard decks, especially the Terra version, Noctowl, Fanrotom, Charizard, Pidgeot, so on and so on, right? So even against decks that don't have abilities, like you can damage yourself with the Froslass, which is great, so your monkeys move damage, but a lot of the decks, you put a lot of pressure on them because you're putting damage on them. And when you're trying to use Bidoof and Itchy Pollen without items, you are blocking cards like the Pokepad, like the Rare Candy, like the Ultra Ball. You're really trying to slow your opponent down. And each turn your opponent has a mediocre turn, or they don't do something that really like disrupts your board. There's another turn where Froslass is ticking, and, you know, Monkey gets to use Adrena Brain. So that's kind of the focus of the deck, and then you have some supporting Pokemon to kind of help enable this strategy. One of the greatest parts of playing this deck is it is a single prize deck, so your opponent really does need to take 6 knockouts most turns, which gives you lots of time. And then we do play stuff like the 3 Counter Catcher that tries to help us trap things in the active to buy us those extra turns. Because like I'm saying, every extra turn you get is another turn where you get Freezing Shroud and Monkey to tick. So the tech Pokemon I'll go over, we play a Shaman. Like I'm saying, you want as many turns as possible. If you don't play Shaman, if your opponent's playing something like a Wellspring, or like Baby Bolt, or like Darmanitan and Zoroark decks, like they take 2 prizes in 1 turn, so not only are they accelerating the game, but they're also like taking out your Froslass or a Monkey or something like that. So I do find Shaman is quite important. Also against Gardevoir, you can block Screamtail. So I do play 1 in this deck. I think you kind of have to play it. The Sudowoodo is really good. Retreat locking, like I'm saying again, like you're trying to buy yourself turns. So Impound does take a fighting. So you have the Prism and the Luminous. So you have like 6 energies that work with the Sudowoodo. You could play Maractus or like even Yveltal, because Yveltal is your retreat. Maractus takes the colorless energy. The reason you like Sudowoodo is a lot of really relevant Pokemon have fighting resistance. The main one is if you want to trap your opponent's Munkidoris. So if you play against Grimmsnarl, for example, you can try and trap their Munkidoris. You play against actually like decks with colorless Pokemon, Fanrotom resist fighting. So like Raging Bolt, for example. So that's why Sudowoodo is in the deck over the Maractus or the Yveltal. And then you also have this like Tinglu is our last single prize Pokemon. This Tinglu is kind of crazy. If there's a stadium in play, you do 30 damage to each Pokemon on your opponent's side of the field, and you discard that stadium. So a lot of times, like once your opponent has like 1 attacker set up, like Itchy Pollen is actually not that important because they already have their core strategy set up. They're just gonna like mow through the Bidoos, or just like if they have Boss, knock out your Froslasses. So like that's kind of when you want to accelerate the game on your side a little bit, where you want to put enough damage so you can go for a Devo play, or just take your 6 prize cards. So that's when Tinglu really comes in handy. This card is really, really good. I'm a massive fan of it in the deck. It's a little hard to find right now. Honestly, I had to go and eBay and buy a couple. None of my card stores had it, but yeah, Tinglu's really, really good in the deck. Enables a lot of things. If your opponent's playing something like a Jamming Tower, or they put into play a Battle Cage to counter you, Tinglu also gets rid of the Stadium. So it's also another way to actually kind of unlock yourself a little bit. So Tinglu's really, really good. You'll see it in the games I played. I use it quite a lot. And then finally, I have Blood Moon. So I think the deck does need either Blood Moon or Mega Froslass. You just need 1 Pokemon that can like take out something. I'm not a huge fan of the Mega Froslass. I'll just pull it up while I talk about it maybe. So the way Mega Froslass works is it does 50 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. So if you're playing against something that doesn't have abilities like Mega Absol, which is historically a really bad matchup for this deck, like something like a Mega Froslass can help you get the knockout. The issue I have with Mega Froslass is if you're using Resentful Refrain to take a knockout, like your opponent probably has like 6, 7, 8 plus cards in their hand, right? Because you're taking a one-shot, maybe less if you're using your Froslass and your Monkey. But regardless, if I'm taking a knockout with Mega Froslass, I'm not item locking them. I'm leaving a 3-prizer in the active, and since I took a knockout, that means my opponent has a bunch of cards in their hand, which means they probably can put together a pretty strong turn, right? So 310 is a lot of HP, but a lot of decks can like reach that naturally, or they can even two-shot the Mega Froslass. And kind of like I'm saying, like one of the big advantages of this deck is that you are a single prize deck, right? So when you put a Mega Pokemon in play that gives up 3 prize cards, you're making the game much quicker for your opponent, right? It's just a massive liability. It also takes up a bench spot, it takes up one of your Snow Runts. If I did play Mega Froslass, I'd probably play 4 Snow Run, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Mega Froslass. I prefer the Blood Moon in this deck. I just play the one Nest Ball, so you just save it for the end of the game. You go Nest Ball, Blood Moon. Because you can just play a single prize strategy the whole way down, and then once you're ready, you just go Nest Ball, Blood Moon, take your last 2 prize cards. You sometimes pick something off on the bench. Because I think sometimes otherwise, like if your opponent just like has one Pokemon, like they can try and sweep you with it, especially if it doesn't have an ability. So think something like a Raging Bolt or like a Mega Absol or something. So I don't know, I just kind of like the Blood Moon at the end. You just play it and then just take the knockout. So that's been my Pokemon of choice. I think you could also get away, which is not playing Blood Moon and Mega Froslass, but I think it is better. And it is a little scary. You could start with the Blood Moon, but if you actually look at the stats, the odds of starting is actually sub 3%. You also have Tinglu in your deck, which has 3 retreat, but to kind of compensate for having both in the deck, I've bumped my Air Balloon count to 2. This way, like there's less prizing issues. If I have to use one in the early game on like a, I don't know, like a Snow Runt or a Monkey, I still have one for the late game to retreat the Tinglu or the Blood Moon. So that's the Pokemon lineup. I'm really happy with it. I don't really know if I would change anything. You could maybe play another Tinglu. You probably could have a Bidoof if you want to do that. I do think you could play a 3-4 Froslass line to help yourself draw the Froslass under item lock. But otherwise, I think this lineup's been working really well for me. In terms of consistency, we're running 4-4-4 Lilies, Iono, Arven. I mean, Lilies is so good for this deck because you don't take prizes for a long time and you control when you take prizes. So it'll even be like turn 5 sometimes, and like I'll have like a really well set up board. My opponent has damage all over it, and I haven't taken a prize, and Lily's still grabbing 8. Iono is just really good with this deck, and when you're item locking them, you can do stuff like Counter Catcher. And then Arven, again, just to get set up in the early game. Secret Box is our ace spec, which I think is the best ace spec for this deck. It just turns your Arven into like instant setup. It gets Poppin plus Artisan. It gets like Balloon, Charm. You know, you can charm your Bidoof to protect it against a lot of things, like Solar Rock with the Vitality Band, or just so it doesn't die to opposing Munkidoris. You can also Bravely Charm your Monkeys. So I do like this lineup. I play 2 Pokegears as well, just to give it even more consistency. I don't really think there's any other supporter like this deck particularly needs. If you play Mega Froslass, you can maybe consider playing Hilda, but otherwise I like that. I played 3 Pokepad. I did have 4 originally, but I think with 3 Artisan, the Poffin, and like the 3 pads, like, and there's an S-Ball, like I felt like I had enough Pokemon search. When I originally had 4 pad, I'm like, it felt a little overkill. I wouldn't hate a 4th, but since I put the Blood Moon in, I just cut one of the Pokepad so I could play an S-Ball to go grab it. If I didn't play Blood Moon, I'd turn the S-Ball back into Pokepad, but it's been good. 3 Counter Catcher feels really nice as well, just to like naturally draw them throughout the course of the game. Like I was saying, you want to just like go like Counter Catcher, Itchy Pollen, like you want to try and like get something stuck. Like if you keep spamming Counter Catcher and Iono together, eventually your opponent just like doesn't get out of the active, and like I'm saying, like that just buys you so much time to set something up. If you're trying to go for like an impound play, also playing the extra Counter Catcher is great. I play Double Stretcher. I would consider playing maybe like 1 Rod in addition to the 2 Stretcher, or maybe just the 3rd Stretcher. I play high enough counts of most of my Pokemon that I don't really feel that stretched for each Stretcher. Like there's 3 Bidoof, there's like 4 Monkey. I could see cutting a Bidoof and playing a 3rd Stretcher. I wouldn't hate that actually. That might be a move I would consider, but I mean then like obviously you can't Artisan or Pokepad for the 3rd Bidoof. You have to grab it off Stretcher. 1 Poffin just for the early game to get the Snow Runts out right away, or Snow Run Bidoof. And then after that you kind of have the Pokepads. You have triple Artisan, so it should be good. Double Devo, I mean that's how you beat evolution decks. So like a lot of games, like you can't afford to have this prized, or a lot of matchups like Dragapult for example, you can Devo when they have all the Dracloaks, and like if they don't play Rare Candy, you get another free turn. And then their energy lineup, there's 4 Prism, 2 Dark, 2 Luminous. The reason you play 4 Prism instead of 4 Luminous is if you go like Prism on Monkey for example, like you can use Mind Bend, or if you go Prism on Tinglu, you can use Hammerin, which shouldn't come up that often. The Mind Bend comes up sometimes, so that's why there's 4 Prism. There's only 2 Dark. If you want to play like more Energy Search, you could just play the card Energy Search. I don't have that in this list right now, but I've had that in a lot of my other lists, and that is like kind of like a 61st to 63rd type of card. But yeah, this is my Froslass Monkey list as of right now. I have a lot of different iterations that I'm working on in the background, so it might change by the time I'm ready to play Regional, but for this video, this is the list I'm playing. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments below. Otherwise, enjoy the gameplay. If you notice I'm looking a little extra stylish today, it's because I'm wearing an outfit from one of my new sponsors, Yisho. They're a Canadian online clothing brand that has curated vintage collections and outfit boxes that ship directly to you. I'm wearing one of the outfits from one of their premium outfits where they just pick an outfit for you based on the style you want, but they also have a lot of really cool one-off vintage pieces. If you're interested, you can use the code Ciaran for 10% off at checkout, and I'll put the link in the description below. Alright, I wasn't paying attention to if I won the flip or not. Okay, I did not. I mean, our hand's actually okay. I mean, Latios, they're either an aggressive deck or they could just be Dragapult. I mean, our hand's pretty good. So the big thing here I have to decide is if I think they're playing Dragapult, I'm probably going to get Bidooed myself, especially since I'm going to give them the stadium here. So if that's the case, I probably want to play my Pokepads now. So I think I'm just going to play them. I'm going to get one Froslass. Oh my god, I prized 2 Froslass. Okay, that's really bad. But I'll get 1 Froslass and then maybe play the other one. Grab a second Munkidori, I guess. Actually, you know what? That was bad. If I'm playing against an aggressive deck, they might just knock on my Snorunt. I should have grabbed a second Snorunt, but I'm banking on his Dragapult. I see the Bidooed sleeves. Yeah. But yeah, it's really bad that we prized 2 Froslass. Alright, it's Dragapult. Never punished. So, I mean, going first is really normally not good. In this case, it's actually going to work out for us because, assuming I don't get Ionoed, which I might, we're going to get to evolve to Froslass first. Oh, we're going to get Ionoed. This is really bad now. This Froslass is going to be, like, really difficult to draw. But I was going to say, like, if I didn't get Ionoed there, I would get to Froslass before them. Okay, I mean, I drew Balloon. We might have to play for Tinglu this game. So I can actually, with the hand I drew, it's actually pretty good. We have lilies as well. We can go like Balloon as long as I don't see a jam and come down, which okay, it doesn't come down. Because I can take out their Bidooed here and then put some pressure on the Bidooed and then, I mean, they can probably get another one. Okay, I just drew Tinglu, nice. Because yeah, I don't have Froslass. The odds of us hitting it are quite low. So I think we're going to go for the Tinglu here. And then we can maybe go into Bidooed later. Okay, we hit the Froslass. This is like, actually, I cannot overstate how massive that was hitting the 1 Froslass. And then I think, since we only have 1 Froslass, I am going to grab an additional Munkidori. Because I wanted as many things as possible to accumulate damage on them. Alright, so we're going to move 10 here. There's a couple places I can pick. I'm probably going to pick their Monkey. I want to eliminate this from the board first. I could hit a Dreepy or a Duskull. If I hit the Dreepy, it would go to 40. They can heal Monkey if they evolve. They're at 20. If they Monkey, that means there's at least 30 on my side. Then next turn, I could double Adrena Brain, and it would be at 7, so it wouldn't knock it out. So we're going to pick the Monkey then. To put more pressure here, because it'll be at 50 going into their turn. And then if they heal, it'll be at 20. So we can keep pushing damage, and then if I get double Monkey and I can get a Stadium again, I can Tinglu again. So I would like to see a Froslass off the prizes. Okay, good. And then we can get some more Snowrunts going. I could have maybe Artisan for the Snorunt, but we only had a 1 in 3 chance of playing a Froslass there. So next turn, the big card that we need to hit is the Artisan. We hit Artisan, I'm feeling pretty good. They're gonna CC. No, I really don't like the CC from our opponent because now, I mean, I have Balloon in my hand, but now if I have Energy Bidooed, I can just retreat into Bidooed, which will be quite strong. All right. Well, I drew nothing. Our opponent's had some very timely Ionos here, so yeah, this will be interesting for us here. They are about to get into a Dragapult on the next turn. I really want to top deck like a Lilies or a way to get into our own Bidooed to slow them down a bit. If they want to Adrena Brain, they have to give us at least 30 to move. The bad part about this hand is we didn't even hit an energy. Like, if I had double Monkey, like, we can put a lot of pressure on their board. Okay, here comes the Dusclops. Interesting. Yeah, we really need to top deck an energy here to start putting some pressure. I'm curious who they heal. They probably heal this. Oh, they're counter catching again. Now the Froslass is coming to the active. Okay, they're gonna Dusclops, and then they're gonna Bidooed and Monkey to knock it out. Interesting, interesting. I mean, I think this play makes sense for my opponent, to be honest, because I don't have another Snorunt. There's Bidooed. Yeah, now here's where it gets interesting. I can put up the Munkidori and retreat to Bidooed. I could put up Tinglu and just knock out the Bidooed. Doesn't feel amazing, but they have the problem with Bidooed is they have a Monkey, so I think I just have to put this up and hope I top deck something good. I probably won't, but yeah, like this is not good. I mean, I think I have to Ground Crasher and then just let them Phantom Dive next turn. Which I do not love. Alright, with this Adrena Brain, I think I'm just going to move to this guy. Well, hopefully next turn we get Secret Box, and then I can try and play the game. But the monkey they have here puts a lot of pressure on me. So... But our opponent has played quite aggressive with that Dusclops. I mean, we still have this Tinglu. I do play Blood Moon. There's a Latios in play, right? So there is an available prize map to us. And their Phantom Dive here is not going to be, like, that crazy. They're actually going to give me a bunch of damage. Like, so next turn we can move 60 with Monkey. And then the nice thing is, if they don't evolve this Stray Cloak, depending on who they heal, we can maybe knock it out with the Adrena Brains. Actually, I could, if they don't heal this one, I could Devo next turn as well. And then, assuming they don't play Rare Candy, that's going to buy us a turn, because I have a Secret Box in my hand. So lots of options, I think, here, depending on how our opponent plays this. So we'll have to see. Here comes Stretcher, probably a Duskull if I had to guess. Not telling me what that was. Oh, they're going to go Badoo one more turn. Okay, interesting. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't really know what they're trying to set up with this Badoo. They also didn't use Stray Cloak. Interesting. Yeah, still nothing good here. Oh, I just have a floating prize card there. Okay, so next turn, assuming they break Item Lock. But I don't really know what they're trying to set up here, because... Yeah, we just next turn... They Phantom Dive. There's no Froslass play to give them extra damage. Like, I think they probably drew another Iono, is my guess. So I'm probably going to get Iono'd. I could bench this Monkey. I don't really want to. Yeah, not drawing more energy is brutal here. So I think we're going to move 20 to this Dracloak. So they have to heal it, or if it evolves, it's easier to Devo. Don't want to bench Badoo because they have a Monkey. Could bench this Monkey, I don't really feel the need to do it. I think we just Ground Crasher. And then... Yeah, now we're down to 2, so I mean this Latios could be our last prize, depending on how things go. Like I'm saying, if our opponent does go for a Phantom Dive, they're going to leave some damage on our board. I'm a bit worried that we're going to get Iono'd here. Because if I don't get Iono'd, my hand's quite loaded, but they've only played 2, right? So they should... I assume the way my opponent played things is because they want to Iono this turn. So I have a feeling we're going to see Dragapult Iono right now. Okay. Yeah, so like I'm saying, if they don't heal this, and they Phantom Dive, I think they have to, even if they go 2-2-2, is there any way they could do it so that we can't move 30-30? I guess they could go 5 and 1. I was gonna say, if they leave us with multiples of 30, we can go Devo next turn. Okay, so they can knock out this Monkey, I guess. And then that only leaves us 20 to move. So that's... Okay, they're gonna knock out both Monkeys. Interesting, interesting. Let's see what they heal. They should heal this, I think. Okay, yeah. I mean, they left us items. So, okay, we have a couple options here. I mean, I have Tinglu. So I could Tinglu. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the Dracloak, the Dreepy, the Hawlucha. Devo is not going to do much here. They take 2 prize cards. Oh, okay, this is very tricky to figure out. Okay. They take 2, we have Counter Blood Moon. The problem is I'm going to get Iono'd next turn. I mean, I could Iono them, but then we don't draw any cards is the problem. And the other problem is I don't think the list I'm playing is one of my lists that plays Energy Search, so I can't attach the Monkey, which is actually like atrociously bad. Maybe we box for Lilies then. 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're gonna go Lilies. We're gonna go this. I think I have to go for Tinglu. And then... I mean, I could get double Snow Runt down. Does that help? They're just gonna Phantom Dive, knock that out, though. I don't think it's that helpful. I mean, I could take Bravery Charm for it, I guess. No, I don't think that's good. I think I'm gonna try and win by just knocking out Hawlucha and, like, Dreepy. What item do I want, then? I just want... like the Structure? Okay, so I'm gonna go... Monkey. I'm gonna balloon one of them. Artisan has to come down. I think I'm just gonna grab another Monkey. Nest Ball I'm gonna hold just in case I do need to get Blood Moon. Okay, then I want to get an energy this turn. That's like the main thing I just want to get. Okay, there's an energy. I could charm this monkey. I'm trying to think if that matters. Because they have monkey plus Phantom Dive. That does 6. That's not enough. Even if they have Turo. Yeah, I don't think that matters. And if they boss this, they need to leave damage on one of these guys. Alright. We're going to Adrena Brain. We're going to move 10 to the Hawlucha, I think. Or I can move it to Dreepy as well. And Devo gets a little better. No, I think Hawlucha makes a bit more sense. Okay. Because I'm getting Ionode next turn. And then the Charm. I think I'm just going to put the Charm. I'm just going to... I think I just put it here for now. Not sure if that's right. And then we're going to Ground Crasher. Alright. Let's see. This has been such an interesting game. The other move I have next turn is Devo, but I have to assume I'm getting Ionode. Maybe not, maybe they prize one, or their deck is 18 cards, so... Hilda, okay. Back Cloak Energy. Back Cloak. Yeah, our opponent wants to CC for sure if they can. Okay. Jamming Tower, that's annoying for us because part of my strategy I wanted to do is I wanted to... Well, actually, you know what? No, that opens up lines actually for us to go Ting Lu again. So wait, depending on where they Adrena, they should Adrena Brain to my active and they should go 2/2/2. Okay. So then 50, 70. Don't I just win with Ting Lu now? Because they did that? Okay, our opponent kind of trolled. Okay, this was such an interesting game the way it played out. Because I'm pretty sure I kept one of my stretchers, right? Yeah, I did. Okay. So we're just going to Arven for stretcher because I know I have it. And then we're just going to go 20 here. Oh, wait, no, wait, I can't win because then I have to attach to Ting Lu. Okay, wait. So if I move 20 here, oh, I can Blood Moon, right? 20 to the active, that's 80. And then Blood Moon. Okay. So I trolled, but we still have a game. There we go. So 20 here. Then we're going to Nest Ball for Blood Moon or Saluna. And then I'm going to knock it out with Blood Moon. So that was a really interesting game. I think it showed off the power of Ting Lu. That was a really interesting turn when our opponent popped their Dusclops. I think our opponent needed to go for another Dusclops to win this game, because they had trouble there where they had to always leave me damage. So, and it seemed like they were struggling to grab their Ionas, but a very unconventional game of Monkey Froslass against Dragapult. But I thought that one was actually pretty entertaining, and hopefully some things to learn from. And I'm sure I could have played my secret box turn better. Maybe I'll review that after when I post the video. But yeah, good game to Dragapult. Alright, this hand's okay as long as I gear into supporter. We'll have to see. Got Artisan plus Prism. Gonna get us. I mean, I could get. Am I going second? I could turn on Ting Lu. Alright, our phone decided to go first. So maybe Charizard. If it's Charizard, I'm not gonna. Ting Lu's actually pretty good, Charizard. Soul Rock. They're playing Ceruledge, okay. To be honest, Ting Lu's actually not that bad against Ceruledge. Because, like, they don't have abilities, right? And then, like, once they evolve to Ceruledge, then, like, I can't hit it with Ting Lu. So I actually don't hate the turn one Ting Lu. Let's see. Yeah. So this matchup on paper seems kind of difficult because Ceruledge doesn't have an ability, but I actually find it's not that hard. Because, like, they just take one every turn. And then, like, you just move 30 each time to Ceruledge, and you just Devo them. So Lunatone has an ability. If our opponent goes Squawk here off the Ultra Ball, that's also a free 2 prizes. There you go. Soul Rock's weak to grass, so if I just put a Charm on the Bidoof, it also struggles. But I haven't played this matchup in a long time, so I don't know. I kind of want to test the turn 1 Ting Lu and see if it works or not. I think it would, to be honest. Okay, them losing a couple bosses turn 1 is also really nice. Oh, it's only 1. Never mind. But even losing one is good, because then harder for them to knock out the Froslasses. Alright, Nest Ball. Shark. Yeah, the Tinglu gets a lot of value here. Even just putting like 30 on like all these guys is nice. Also, since they got rid of Boss, Slow Rock doesn't knock us out. Alright, so let's gear. Arvin's not the support I wanted, but we can make it work. I think I unfortunately have to take the Boss because I need a supporter next turn because we prize the Devo. And then I have to discard whichever tool I take. So I think I'm gonna take the Balloon. Yeah, here's like, I don't, like, Artisan's actually a really bad draw. I don't want to discard the Artisan. But I might have to. No, I'm gonna keep it, I think. We're gonna get rid of it with Tinglu, and the Artisan just gets us so much value every turn. Alright, we're gonna get a Balloon. Yeah, maybe there was an argument maybe for getting rid of the Artisan and keeping the Prism, because I guess in theory they don't play a lot of stadiums normally, so when I get rid of one, I keep my other one. That might have been wrong for me. Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, I should have actually just kept the energy, but it's fine. But I don't think I'm like Tinglu spamming this game. Alright, then the Artisan, just get a monkey, so it's on the board. Treat. And yeah, our opponent actually has a weird turn next turn unless they have Boss in their hand. And then if they Boss, I guess we just have another Artisan, we just do this again. So, I'm pretty happy with my turn 1 there. Even if they have Boss, they don't have a great target. They can have Snorunt, but that's whatever. I don't care that much right now. Just Artisan. Do Tinglu again. They go into Ceruledge, then that's fine. Then we have Pidgeot here with Free Retreat, and then we just kind of get going from there. And I probably promote Snorunt, put the Balloon on one of the Snorunts, put the Artisan down, Lilies, and then we kind of just get going. And actually, the Charcadet having 30, if I Pidgeot them for 10, then they only need one monkey to get knocked out, which is nice. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'd do as my opponent here. Okay, they have the Boss in their hand. You probably knocked out, yeah, the Snorunt is definitely the correct Pokemon. But now if they don't evolve, like, we're getting really good Ground Crasher value. Yeah, like, this is going to be, like, insanely good for us. Alright, so we're going to push the Pidgeot, obviously, because it has Free Retreat, but I am going to go for Tinglu again this turn. Okay. Well, maybe keeping the third Artisan is worth it then. Alright, top deck energy anyways. I think I'm going to hold... am I going to hold off on Artisan? I think I am, just see what I draw. Here. Please. Okay, there's one Froslass. I think I prized the other Snorunt if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I did, okay. Night Stretcher would have been really good here, but that's fine. So since I did prize my last Snorunt, I actually am going to just go ahead and grab one more monkey here just because I want damage to accumulate. Because then eventually what's going to happen is like next turn coming to my turn, this will have 20, 20, 20. If I get another Dark, I move 40. This one will have 20 on it. Then come back to my next turn, I'll have 40. You go 30, 20, 20. This one stays at 10. Then it goes to 30 on like my subsequent turn. So like that's kind of good for me. And then we're just going to Ground Crasher here. And I know I could have put the Balloon on here to have a retreat, but like if this gets stuck because they punch it, then I'm completely fine with that, because that means I didn't take a prize. That's a free, another free turn of 2 Freezing Shrouds plus a turn of Monkeying, so I don't really care if this gets stuck. I also have Arvin for Balloon if I need it, but it'll be fine. Alright, so there's the first Ceruledge. But now it's at 60, right? So now we just go Pidgeot, it's at 7, it's ready to be devoed. This is at 60 again. If they do a new Ceruledge, Pidgeot, ready to get devoed. So we're in a very, very nice position in my opinion here. I have 7 in the discard. I mean, like, it doesn't really matter. Like, they one-shot everything in my deck pretty much once they get, how many? Like, 6 in the discard? So our opponent's really valuing the Legacy. I mean, it doesn't matter because Legacy only works if you get knocked out by damage. So, like, if I wanted to, I could just knock this out with Monkey. Okay, Carmine. So the other card that we have to be a little bit respectful of is the Turo. So I could, if I want to, go for a prize race. I could just start pushing damage next round Squawk with Monkey. And I don't hate that, to be honest, because I could win with Blood Moon. So this is a prize, this is 2, so I'd be at 3. This is almost dead, so this would be 4, and then just Blood Moon is Ceruledge, right, for game. So we have a lot of time, because our opponent kind of missed, or they didn't miss a knockout, but they, like, I don't know, they didn't put that much pressure on us. Like, we just got a bunch of Tinglu. Alright. So now we are going to start going for Ichipollen. I'll put 10 here, like I said. And then I hopefully get a dark, and then we start moving more damage. Stretcher would be another good card here, I think. Just to get another guy down. Okay, Countercatcher is also good. So there's a couple options here. I think the best one is actually their other Ceruledge, because this deck only plays 5 fire normally in the Legacy. So if I bring this up, they have to hit specifically fire to attack me. Or Turo. But then if they Turo, they're not Turoing this, right? The other weird thing here is I have Iono, but my opponent only has 3 cards in their hand, so I'm actually not loving that. But if I Arven, I don't have an energy, so I cut Energy Search from this list, so maybe I should add it back, but I think here maybe we just Arven for the Stretcher. Charm maybe, and then this way we just get another Snow Run down. So I have Frost. Oh wait, I don't have Frost. Did I prize 2 Froslass? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, I priced 2 Froslass. It's the second time it's happened, like 4 games. I've been trying to record this. Okay, well I should have known that. I could go Gear and try and hit Lilies. I don't hate that. That might be a little better actually. Yeah, I kind of like that better, actually. Let's go like this. Okay. And then F-Pad, I can get whatever with that later. If I move 20 to the Squawk, goes to 110, then it goes coming into my turn, it'll be at 120, then I can move 30, it gets knocked out between turns. We don't need to move damage to active, because Bidoo's going to put in Diva range. This one has 60, so then it also needs one more Bidoo, so if they like retreat to this one or Turo, then I can hit over 10. So yeah, I really like my position here. I think I'm in a fairly commanding spot. I healed this monkey because if they ever play boss and knock out a monkey, this is the one that we knock out. So I want these ones down to 30. The most annoying thing our opponent could have here is fire boss on the Froslass, but I mean they've already played 2 boss. Most decks play 2 or 3 that are Ceruledge. Okay, so there's a Turo I was talking about. Right, so by bringing up this Ceruledge, if they don't have a fire in their hand, they have to pick it up if they want to attack, which means like what it's called, the Squawk has to stay on the board. So you can see them hesitating here. So that tells me they don't have a fire. If they had a fire, they would insta pick up Squawk. So I might honestly like just keep this hand because I have the Blood Moon in it. The only thing that's missing is energy. Like if I drew another like energy, like I'd be like super content with this hand. And I might this turn Arven for the Stretcher because we're going to take 2 on the Squawk, like I'm saying. And the Lunatone's also going to die coming into our turn. Or at the end of our turn. So then we can take 3. So then I have, it's higher than 50-50 because there's 2 Frostlasses. So what would the odds of us pulling it? It's 2 over 3 times. 1 over 2, right? Yeah, so our odds of pulling it are 2 and 3. Off of 3 prize cards. Alright. So we're going to Pokepad, like I'm saying, for the Bidoo to get this in range. Then we're going to knock out this, knock out this. Alright, Pokepad. And then Bidoo comes down. And most of these decks will play 1 Turo as well, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so then we're going to Arven for the Stretcher, and I'll put Diva in my hand. I don't love that, but I think that's correct. Oh wait, I just realized they put a mist on this, what the heck? Okay, well, then we're definitely playing for Blood Moon this game. Nope, not that. This. And then Adrena Brain. That moves 30 here. Retreat to Bidoo. Actually, I think I could have just also like not Stretchered for this. I don't know if I need double Froslass to be honest, but that's whatever. Because next turn I could just go like 30 here, then Bidoo, block Palpad, and then win with Blood Moon. Because Legacy, like I said, isn't going to trigger. But there's both the Frostlasses. Alright. Well, I have Gear, so I can try and Gear into like another pad, right? Or an energy would be helpful next turn. Get double monkey going. Yeah, like, I don't know why I like, set up second start. I had all this damage. It's not been on my A game today. Alright, well, there's another Carmine. That's interesting. Alright, that's gonna be blown up now. Alright, so let's see what we got here. So, like, yeah, I think it's like if I just Bidoo this. Well, actually, yeah, I don't want to take the knockout because I don't want to lose the Briar. Unless it's in the discard. It's in the discard? It is in the discard. Okay, so I can't take a knockout. As long as I Bidoo to block Palpad. There's Prism. Yeah, like I didn't draw Bidoo. I think that's fine. Problem now, though, is if I give them Palpad, they can Palpad the Turo. I don't have Bidoo. Is my Nest Ball gone? No, I mean, I could Iono here. I mean, how many boss does Ceruledge play? Things I think it's 2, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I could just bench Blood Moon. And then just, like, Iono them. Alright, whatever, we'll find out. This can go here, it doesn't matter. I don't know. I mean, I could have played some more stuff. I should have played more stuff, actually. Okay. Green Brain. This guy out this turn. This. Alright. Well, if we lose, it's my fault for not getting the Bidoo last turn, but I think we should be fine. I think I'm going to leave this in the active. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, if they want Briar, they need Palpad, then they need to get Solrock, and they need to get Lunatone and way to draw. Or they just need to play 3 bosses orders. I don't think they play. I'm pretty sure most lists play 2. But people like playing bosses orders. But you have to make the best decisions with the information you have. So, decided to bench the Blood Moon. Oh, they haven't slammed a boss yet, which I like to see. And they can retreat, but we have a monkey, so you can just monkey. Okay, they're passing. I mean, this is definitely the smartest move from our opponent, because this forces me to have an energy to Blood Moon, which I do have. So, alright, not the cleanest played game by me, but we won in the end. The Ting Lu actually went crazy at the start, so. Card's getting lots of use. Good game there versus Ceruledge. Alright, I'm gonna go second here. See if we can open with like a Bidoo or maybe like an Arven or something. Ooh, nice. And the box. I don't know if I need the box necessarily, because I have the Pokepad, but it could be a decent box, and I'll see what I top deck and what I'm playing against. I'm guessing Charizard, looking at the cards are, or sleeves our opponent has, but they could be psyching me out. And I got my Bidoo sleeves. Looks like Charizard, yeah. The Bidoo sleeves, you know, I've got, is this a reverse hollow one? Yeah, I pulled a couple of Ascended Heroes. I got a lot of packs, actually. Pokemon sent me a bunch, which was really nice of them. So I pulled a lot of Bidoos there. Okay, well, I probably do nothing, so I mean, we're just gonna run them over now. Okay, well, since they didn't get anything, I'm just gonna do this. And then this, no lilies. I'm gonna hold this hand since I can just block Pokepad into double Froslass next turn. And I'm gonna Charm just to protect myself from Fan Rotom, and just Pollen. Should be good. Yeah, there's a Dawn. But I mean, like, this matchup's already really easy when our opponent doesn't get a really good start. It's like very, very good. Because here they're gonna get stuck, I think, because they can't Hurricane Charizard next turn, so we get like 2 more free turns. I'm gonna double Froslass. If they ever make Pidgeot or Charizard or Noctowl, a Froslass is just like wreck this deck. And the Charm and the Bidoo protects it from the Assault Landing. So next turn I'm gonna go Froslass, Arzon for Monkey. And we'll be in a really good position. Okay. They have Pidgeotto. I mean, they could attach, actually, if they want to to Pidgeotto, so if they have Pidgeot next turn, they can use Blustery Wind. I wouldn't hate seeing them do that if they have an energy. Okay, they're gonna retreat to Charmander. Interesting. I guess because next turn they want to use the Charmeleon's attack just does 20, but I mean I have the Charm, so. Alright, so like I said, we're gonna go Froslass. Then we're gonna go Poképad for Froslass. Okay. And then we're gonna go. I'm gonna put this down. Slap this here. Lilies, I'm really just looking for energy here. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna Arzon for another monkey, so I have 2 of them taking damage concurrently. Next turn we can do even more damage, and then Pollen. So this is to put a lot of pressure on. There's the Pidgeot. Affected. I think our opponents went too slow this game. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to overcome. Oh, they play Evo. Okay. I don't really know what they can Evo into here. I mean, you can make a Charmeleon, that's fine, but like, as soon as it becomes Charizard, it just takes so much damage from the double Froslass. Like, the Pidgeot's gonna be in Evo range in a few turns. Oh, they're going Tatsu. Their hand must be really bad then. Unless they might have Jet plus Evo. If they have another Charmander, maybe. They're probably quick searching for Jet, and then they maybe have Charmander in their hand, or even like Duskull or something. This is just a free prize for us as well. Yeah, okay, so they probably got Jet, and then they're gonna go Evo. Yep. Gonna get double. Double, what's it called? Double Melion. Okay. Boss. Get Arven though. Okay, I mean, next turn they can boss the last, so. There's maybe consideration to benching another Runt. Maybe. Don't hate it. But I think if I just get another monkey next turn, like just getting damage down, then that's also fine, because then even if they knock out a Froslass, these guys will have enough damage to keep pushing me forward. Because this will be at 50 going into their turn, they knock out a Froslass, will be at 60 still, then with Froslass ticks will be at 80, come back to my turn. I don't think I need to gear, I don't think I need to do anything except Lilies. I'm going to wait to see what I draw off this before I do this. Okay, so I got energy. But since I got energy, I think I am going to just go for another monkey. If I didn't get energy, I would have put the Snorunt down. If I did, I'll get another monkey, just let that accumulate damage. And with the Adrena Brains, we're going to go 30 onto the Charmeleon for sure. And we'll do another 30. Okay, so they make a Charizard, right? Like the Pidgeot does 22 every turn, they're going to take damage. So I'm actually going to push the damage here. Because then if this becomes another Charmeleon next turn, because I'm guessing they either prize one or it's in their hand, because then the Evo they only got 1. This is easier to knock out in Evo later. Cool. So I mean, we're in a really good spot here. If they boss a Froslass, like I said, my monkeys will all have 30 each minimum. It'll be 40, 40, 30. I have a lot of damage to move. If they don't knock out a Froslass, well then I'm just chilling. Then I have double Froslass going. So I think regardless, I'm in a good spot. Then we have the Iono next turn as well. Curious what they're gonna Artisan for. They get Duskull, like that's another Pokemon where like you want to make sure you like keep that at bay, because if they just blow up your board, like that's how you can lose sometimes. Like they can go Dusknoir, a Froslass, and knock out the other one. So I'd probably double monkey there, but I guess without rare candy, it takes them 2 turns, so I'll see it coming. Okay. They're gonna Blustery Wind, take out the Artisan. Don't hate that. Denies me easy access to my buddies. Boss, keep them boss on Froslass like we discussed. So I have the Snorunt in my hand, and we have all the monkeys who are still gonna help me keep pushing damage. Then I'm just been. Do I Iono next turn? I think I do. I think I do want to draw an energy, and then like we have 6 prize cards, right? So I mean, I'll be at because this isn't gonna die because there's only 1 Froslass. There's maybe an argument for lilies, honestly. Like maybe it's like one of those situations where like I don't really care what my opponent does. Oh, they have Battle Cage. Okay. No, I only have 1 Artisan left actually. Okay, that's actually pretty bad. Okay. How do we deal with this? Well, if I get Counter Catcher, I can bring this up and start putting damage on it again. I mean, I still think we're fine. It just actually makes this game a lot trickier. Okay, well, there's an energy. I could also Tinglu this turn maybe and get rid of the stadium that way. That's actually one of the really nice parts about Tinglu, I guess. Oh, there's gonna be so much value for Tinglu. I mean, I am leaving my other Froslass alone, so I think I just won't heal maybe my monkeys this turn. I'll leave the damage there, but... okay, I mean, I got Counter Catcher. I mean, I could CC this. Like, I mean, my opponent just put, like, a bunch of fires in play, so if they don't have another one, right? Like, they have to... get... Like, they might have to quick search for one. I don't hate. Or I could knock out Charmander. But I think I'd rather just pressure the Charizard. This thing is, I think it's actually doing work. Alright, so since I'm bringing this up, we're gonna go 30 here. And then I'm gonna hit it. So it'll go to 100. Froslass will tick, it'll go to 110. Okay, so then I don't need to move any more damage. Everything else looks good to me. And we Ground Crasher. This is ready to get devoed. This will be ready to be devoed very shortly. The active is ready to be devoed. Holy huge Tinglu turn there for us. A Ground Crasher. Because now even if my opponent plays double stadium, I could get Tinglu back, I could get the last Artisan. And then I have my other CC here, so if they do evolve that Mander and I need to Monkey, I can do that and then Devo. I'm pretty, yeah, Battle Cage doesn't block Devo, it just blocks damage counters. Getting the Fez. Yeah, I think our opponent needs to bench another Mander next turn, otherwise Devo just like completely wrecks them. Like even knocking out Froslass here doesn't do much. Then they'll have no board left over. Ooh, basket, okay. That does mess us up a little bit. Now if they knock out the Froslass, that is annoying. Alright, so... Actually, it's very annoying if they knock out Froslass. Man, our opponent has all the text for the Monkey Froslass deck. I have to assume they just picked boss. Okay. Or the fire. Hopefully, like I was saying... Oh, wait, didn't they play Dawn this turn? Or am I tripping? That was late, like last turn. No, they played Dawn. Okay. The Froslass is going to survive. Okay, so actually then the Picnic Basket doesn't matter because this will be at 90, move 20. Oh, I can't knock out Charizard or Charmander actually, I think, right? If I'm doing my math correctly. Can I? Wait, I can go... I need to go 20-20. Or wait, no, I can go 30, 10, 20. Okay, no, I can do it. Good. I can go like this. We go 30 here. This was an 80 HP guy, right? Yeah. Love to see it punished for that one. Then we move 10 to this one. Okay, so it's a knockout. Sukudo, don't really need that. We'll go dark on monkey. Going to move 20 to the active. Evo with the one with dark because I want to, if I retreat, be able to stretch her. And I mean, I could Arven. I don't know what I Arven for, to be honest. I think maybe the gear or something, so I can get the guy out of the active without having to burn the energy. And we just Devo, and then They don't have a Zard or a Pidgeot. They didn't attach a Chi-Yu last turn, so they have no way of taking a knockout. Good for us. And then that Fez could be our last prize if we just like spam it with Adrena Brains. Actually, I prized my last starters on, so then that Tinglu was actually super important. And they could Flamebringer, I guess. Attach energy that way. I'm gonna see if they have Iono as well. They haven't played one yet, so I mean, I assume they have to have one. But even then, like, I think we're fine. Because next turn I just Budu, they can't play Rare Candy. So they here, ideally, I think they have, like, Super Odd, Evo, assuming they play 2. Into, like, double Melian. Okay, there's the Rod. But then again, we have to kind of just, like, brick. Otherwise, I think we're in a good spot. Commander. One. I mean, they don't need more than one. The last Zara has to go the distance. Actually, it's probably better to just get one. They have 14 cards, so they should have a lot going on of things they can do. Alright, here comes the Arven. Andy Max Bell, those are not helpful. Well, they didn't Iona me now. So, like, our board's just gonna be good. I'm gonna Badoo them next turn so they can't. So, unless they have Evo in their hand, should be good. Okay. PC, sure. Try and trap that, but yeah, they don't have Iono, so. If they had Iono, they could try and trap this, and then if I whiff a way to retreat, then they can, what's it called? Try and get going. Okay, they're going on this. Interesting. Interesting strat, okay. I see the vision. Do I have a structure left? Can I Tinglu? 20, 20, 20. Okay, wait, let's see. If I get here. Arven. Let me check if I have stretch. I assume I do. Okay, there we go. Alright, the goated Tinglu. I love this card. It's so fun. Alright, Tinglu, Prism, Balloon, Actual Punish for 50 HP Pidgey. And we're gonna go 20 to Pidgey. Then we're gonna go 20 to Mander. We have another 20 to the Mander. And then the Tinglu will finish the game for us. Also, my opponent knew I had the Balloon in hand because I grabbed it off the Arven box last turn. Or Arven, I think I played right. Ground Crasher. Oh wait, I didn't put Arizon down. Whoops. I was like watching the USA vs Dominican game. It literally just finished as I was doing that. Well, now they can knock out my Froslass. They can Rare Candy Zard. Okay, okay. They can Iono. Pidgeot. Now we have to get Arven for Devo. I gave them life. Okay, I win with Blood Moon. But, again, very sloppy by me. I left the door open. But, we prevailed in the end. Blood Moon down. And yeah, I think Blood Moon is just a necessary evil in this deck. It just cleans up so many endgames for you. There we go, Blood Moon. GG. Alright, so we won the flip. You always like going second with this deck because you obviously get the Itchy Pollen. Hopefully your opponent doesn't get the strongest start. But I have found I don't hate going first as long as I have a somewhat playable hand. Because if I have a somewhat playable hand, then oftentimes like I get Froslass turn 2. Okay, let's go playing as Joltik Box. I don't think this matchup's winnable. I actually beat it at a regional last year when I was playing Monkey Froslass, and that version was worse than this one, so we'll see. You know, you can get stuff involved like the Sudowoodo. So if our opponent doesn't retreat here, I'm definitely going to Sudowoodo it. But in general, it's a pretty tough matchup. Okay, so they're just going to attach there. I mean, this is another problem. Like, Crispin actually, like, destroys Monkey Froslass when they Cruel Arrow. Maybe I'm not going to go Sudowoodo? Alright, it seems like our opponent had a pretty weak start, so I think I'm just going to Arven for Poffin and just go right for a Bidoof. I'm just going to double check with this Pokepod that I didn't prize the Poffin. Alright, cool. So we can grab the monkey. Okay, I prized Secret Box. I was about to say I would consider here actually getting the box to get the Artisan, because they normally don't play a counter stadium. And then that would allow me to get the Sudowoodo next turn if I need it. But that would also give them their Joltik. So we'll have to see. So here we're going to Pollen. I'm going to hope they don't have very good cards and then kind of go from there. But like I said, Crispin would be actually very, very difficult for me to deal with, because Cruel Arrow just knocks out the Froslasses every single turn. So I'd have to go get my Shaman if that happened. So, but then at least, I mean, here I don't think it's actually like the end of the world, but because they'll take one. But I'd prefer they don't knock out a Snorunt, because if I look at the board here, they have put down a lot of Pokemon that have abilities. So that's quite good for us. So if I get double Froslass going, there's my prize map right there. The main problem with this matchup is they just Iron Hands like a million times, right? So I do have Blood Moon to deal with in the late game. So if we can get double Froslass quick enough and we can get like double Monkey going, like I can maybe knock out the Fez and the Mew in time. You just failed his Miraidon. Does he have Joltik in his hand? Well, he did the thumbs up thing. Maybe he prized. Alright, so here comes the Crispin. Here comes the Cruel Arrow. They should probably knock out this Snorunt if I had to tell you who they knock out, but we'll see. Then now it's on me to try and draw Shaman plus a Froslass here. I would love for them to knock out my Bidoof, to be honest. I want double Froslass next turn, but we shall see. And for me, definitely just gonna go for Lily's Determination. My turn. Oh, bro, they play Battle Cage? What is this? In Joltik Box? I mean, they have a bad start, so this is fine. Alright, they know what they're doing. They got this one. I'm maybe kind of glad I didn't get Artisan down. Yeah, prizing box is bad. Otherwise, I would have just boxed here. We would have gotten a Froslass, an Artisan, all that. Charm is interesting. Debating if I put it here just in case I whiff. I think I'm going to put it here just in case I whiff. A little bit of protection, because I don't need it elsewhere. Yeah, like we whiffed the Froslass, so now I'm going to put it there. And then I think I'm going to bench the second Bidoof, to be honest, just in case. Well, they're going to knock this guy out now, right? So. Itchy Pollen, and then now this is here, so this is going to survive a Cruel Arrow. And if they hit it, well, then I heal it before I evolve, so. Yeah. Alright. But yeah, I don't know, their prizes must be super wonky the way they played things, because they should have made Iron Hands last turn if they could have, but my start is still very slow here. Prizing the box really messed this up. The box would have given us a super strong turn last turn. We would have had Froslass, and they're going to knock out a Monkey. They're just going to bring this up. Interesting. Why would they bring this up? Oh, they're going to snipe around it. Okay, I see. They're going to hit a video. Okay. Okay. I mean, this deck plays 4 boss, and they play Prime as their ace spec, so don't hate it. Right, gear. I think we definitely want to gear and try and hit Lilies here, just because I don't want to have to Iono. I'm going to take the Arven out, just because I really want to draw better cards. We need to hit Froslass Artisan here to even, like, start playing the game. Oh, yeah, alright. This one's gonna be tough to win. They're just gonna snipe this, I guess, but we'll give them the option. I mean, they haven't really set up, so, like, honestly, like, I could probably just get into Blood Moon. And maybe win. We shall see. They've been fairly bad draws by me. Yeah, the problem is they're setting this up, so I can't go double Froslass and Blood Moon. They're gonna boss again. Not good. Yeah, this is the problem when you play this deck compared to something like Grim, is like you don't have an attacker that does damage, so like the Spez is going unchecked. It's gonna take a lot of prize cards, and then we don't have double Snow Run, so. I mean, I have been drawing really poorly, but so has our opponent, to be fair, so. Alright, let's try again. We need to hit Froslass plus Artisan. There's Froslass, but there's no Artisan. We'll just Pokepad. And my side of the board gets damaged, so... This can come down. Maybe I should go another Bidoof, actually, but it's whatever. I'm probably gonna Blood Moon next turn. Blood Moon Iono. And then my Blood Moon won't die because I only have one Froslass. So it is winnable, to be honest, and then we just retreat. Our opponents played 2 bosses. They have the Prime left, though. Or I think our issues... Actually, this should have been Bidoof, because our issue is going to be now, like... If I Blood Moon my board, I'm board locked, so... Or I could wait one more turn. So next turn I have Triple Monkey. So Triple Monkey here, this goes to 120. Setting up the Blood Moon, though. Oh, I'm kind of tempted to go one more turn of... they're at 130, 140 coming. Yeah, I could knock out the Fez between turns. Or we could also Mind Bend with an Iono. I don't hate it. Because it's the same thing, effectively, as getting the extra damage, right? And Iono them to 2, they have Mew. Yeah, let's go for it. I could Nest Ball preemptively for Blood Moon. I don't hate it, because Nest Ball is actually pretty hard to draw back. Let's do that. If they win next turn, they win next turn. It is what it is. But I think this gives us the highest chance of winning. If we can scam a turn here. And like, where are my stadiums? I definitely prize some. I didn't diligently prize check, but I'm gonna heal from this because if it gets knocked out, I'd rather have a damage reserve on my bench. I'm gonna heal from this one because if they do take a knockout on the bench guy, this is the most likely one. And then we're gonna hit, and they're gonna go to 170. And now they're confused that they flip Tails. Next turn I have Arvin. If I get energy, we can, counter catch the Iron Hands, knock it out with Blood Moon. And then they would need their own Blood Moon to, I guess, take a knockout. So I think there's a chance here. Not incredible chance, but there's a chance. So we'll see. And I think the problem is I don't have energy. Because there's the attachment, Pokepad, interesting. Maybe they play this in the deck just to grab the Galvantula or to grab like a Joltik or something. But the way they were playing it, it seems like the Joltik was in the prize cards at the start. Just in the Galvantula. They haven't used Mew yet, so they probably should have just failed that. But, okay. Alright, so next turn we need to top deck... Okay, that's a huge Tails flip. We need to top deck either CC or Energy or Stretcher, because then I can knock out the hands, right? Because we go Monkey Monkey, then Blood Moon. Alright, let's see, come on. Give us one of those cards. Or I don't know what's in the prizes. Give me one of those. Okay, CC, let's go, okay. So now we can knock out the hands. I'm a bit worried if they just have Blood Moon, but that's fine. Alright, well, we'll just do Stretcher. Okay, okay. Alright, we're cooking, we're cooking. So retreat, very important, it's the dark. Okay. And then we're going to Stretcher the energy back so I can use it. Patch, and then I'm going to heal. Very important, I picked the Blood Moon. Oh, wait, I forgot the counter catcher first. I just rolled the whole game. Whoops. Well, we can still, I guess, hit the hands. Or you know what, we can maybe just knock out the Mew. And then later we'll go for the hands or something. Because this denies draw, right? Whoops, whoops, whoops. I forgot about Battle Cage. I got ahead of myself. Okay, well, no, this game's gonna be hard. But I'll try and win still. Okay. Okay, I probably should have just brought the hand still and just punched it and then next turn finish it off. Well, whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. We still didn't draw Artisan, always punished. And I should have before I sent that to the bench, I should hit again. Okay. It doesn't really matter where I heal. Alright, Blood Moon. No, I trolled this game. Next turn I have to, if they attack with hands, I have to Mind Bend it. Alright, well there's the box and an Artisan, so we definitely prized one. I mean, even if I attacked the hands and knocked it out, I would have had to like retreat for a turn, but still. I misplayed, which is not ideal. We lose to Energy Prime. Yeah. Alright. Otherwise, like I said, if they put Iron Hands in the active, we retreat and we Mind Bend our move. Alright, so let's see here. I don't really know who they would grab. I mean, I guess they could thin the deck. This is already on the board taking damage for them. Maybe they'll respect that I play a switch or something like that. Well, it seems like they don't have game, which is good for us. And I guess they don't have a second lightning on this, so they can't even use Arm Press. They're gonna Ultra Ball. We've knocked out the Mew, so and the Fez is gone. So I don't even know what they could grab, actually. Oh wait, they have their own Blood Moon. Okay. Okay, so the question for us now is, do we retreat? So... Oh, they're going to hands. Interesting. Why would they do that? They should have just waited, because if they drew an energy, they could knock out my Blood Moon, because my Blood Moon's taking damage. Because I was going to retreat into Monkey, and then... Now I'm not going to retreat. I'm just going to put this here. And yeah, I think we just... Because even if they're on energy now, hands isn't... Their last card's a Blood Moon, so... It needs an energy to attack, so I'm at 2, so that doesn't do anything. Yeah, so now we just heal. We can just roll the damage here. I don't even know what my opponent can draw to win. Alright, I think we just win. Alright, I played horrible this game, but it looks like we're gonna scam a win. I'll blame it on me playing on live. I'm watching baseball on the other screen. I'm watching the Dominican versus US, but that's not an excuse. I should have knocked out the hands last turn. But in a weird way, knocking out the Mew actually might have won us the game. And then my opponent obviously just misplayed here. They like took away all their outs. I guess Crispin actually wins in the game. I shouldn't have been so arrogant, but if I would have retreated, I guess I could have retreated and Mind Bended. Actually, would have been the safest play then, because then even if they get Crispin, they need to flip heads. Actually, I could have just Arven for a Bravery Charm and then just used Mind Bend, right? And then because then I have Box to get Balloon. Do I have a thing left? I think I did. I'm gonna prize one. Alright, so I'll just like insanely sloppy play this game, but we're still gonna win. Because even if my opponent tries to like stall with putting Joltik in the active, we just knocked out with Monkey. Even if they charm, we have triple Adrenaline Brain, and then they have to put up a 2-prizer. They put Blood Moon down. It takes 10 between turns from Froslass each way. So I think we have our opponent here. Alright, so my worst matchup, probably gonna win, just because my opponent kind of whiffed. It looked like they prized double Joltik or something at the start. And then we were able to kind of get him stuck here. Unless I'm getting Omega slow rolled, I think it should be good here. It's taking forever to look at his hand. Alright, bro, unless you got Crispin. Lights out. Arven. Sure, you can get Prime Catcher if you want. Which actually, then I guess I can't retreat. Okay, actually, again, I spoke too soon. You can Prime Catcher Froslass or Shaman, so it should be Froslass because the Charvin's on it. And then I'm actually kind of low on energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, I play 8. And box, I'll try and play everything and then try and get another energy. Because yeah, if the Froslass gets stuck for a turn, then that gives my opponent a turn. E-switch Light Ball. Well, that definitely doesn't win the game either. You can E-switch here. You can't retreat. I mean, yeah, I mean, the guy just trolled last turn, like retreated the Miraidon. We should have lost that game, but so I played bad, but then my opponent also played bad, so it cancels out. Very interesting game. Alright, we get to go second, which I'm always happy about with this deck. I do not like starting Shaman unless I'm playing against a deck that I need this against. Which isn't that many. Definitely not a deck that plays Duskull. So now we just have a dead card on our board, which is really bad. But I get to go second with a balloon, so that's fair compensation, I would say. Alright, so our opponent got Poffin, which makes our Bidoof a little less effective. Since a lot of times when you go second, if you Bidoof, your opponent just doesn't get Poffin, they get stuck. So I think we're playing against Dragapult, if I had to guess. Oh, we're playing against Greninja. Interesting, okay. Okay, so actually Shaman is very good then in this scenario. Alright, I'm happy I started Shaman then. We're gonna get the balloon on it, we'll have a pivot. They might be playing Grand Tree, I'm guessing, with their E-spec. That could be something to watch out for. Alright, well, we have our own Poffin. Oh, double Froslass. I think I have to play Iono to develop a bit more. That's killing me that I can't just hold the Froslasses. Alright, double Devo is something important to check for. I have all my energies. I have prized 2 Artisans. There, we have all our Froslass, all of our Budews, all these, prized orders. Okay, other CCs in my hand. Okay. Alright, so let's Iono. Looking here for like more dark, Monkey Darks, more Snow Runs. It's a bit weird, so like I could pad for Monkey because I have energy, but I think I'm going to hold it to get Froslass next turn, then I'm going to Arven for Secret Box, hit another supporter, and then put the energy there. And I only have 1, so it's not like I really need to attach this turn, because unless I top deck Dark or another energy next turn, there's no reason I need to attach now. There's not even damage on my board, right? Next turn we Arven for Box, we get rid of Bidoof, we get rid of Charm, whatever we top deck, or maybe another thing. I don't think Charm is that good in this matchup. I can't really think of much. This could be annoying. If they flip heads and like block me from item lock for a turn. I guess maybe I could have charmed here in case they Dusclops, but if they Dusclops, I get a prize. Push this up, I have retreat. So I think it's fine. A Grand Tree, I do get to evolve into Froslass, which could be good. Alright. Okay, so they don't got anything here, so that's good for us. Ooh, I drew Iono. Interesting. I think I still like Arvening for Box because it gets the Artisan, so we get Monkey attached, plus I get the other Pokepad for Froslass. I'm gonna go like this. I think we're gonna go like this. Now, what do I value more, the Charm or the second? I kind of value the Charm a bit more. I don't really think I'm going to need the balloon because I already have a pivot here. Let's grab this, grab this. I'm going to Charm this turn just because if I get Dusclops, it is actually really annoying on my video. Artisan, Monkey, Energy. I guess in theory they could if I go double Froslass Dusclops here, but I mean I don't really care to do that. I have my stretchers, right? Double check how many I have. It's 1, I guess, okay. That's fine. Then Pollen. Yeah, and then the Shaman is nice because it has the ability, so if they don't take a knockout next turn, even if they knock out my Bidoof with whatever Greninja's attack is called, then I get extra damage here, so my second Monkey can move a full 30 as well. So Greninja doesn't have an ability, so we're gonna have to just like knock it out by like moving like damage to it like 3 times and then Vivoing. Or if I'm using Bidoof, I don't think it's weak to Grass, it's weak to Psychic, I think. So then, yeah. Okay. I mean, the nice thing with Artisan is if they don't bump it, then I just get free Bidoos. Next turn we Lily. If we draw Bidoof, we get Monkey. If we draw Monkey, we grab Bidoof. Let's see, I'm curious what they're gonna grab here. Yeah, another Duskull makes sense to me. Okay, there's the Grand Tree. So this is... They can make the active... Actually, they can make their active into Dusknoir and then knock it to Froslass. That would be a bit annoying, actually. It looks like what they're going to do. And then if I have... Or actually, if they have Greninja, they could actually just knock out Shaman and then... Alright, that was kind of high roll than to have Grand Tree under item lock. Yeah, I do not want to see Greninja. Yeah, Greninja I get wrecked, actually. This gets knocked out. Oh my god. Why is my opponent socking so hard? Alright, how do we come back from this? I know, alright, Lily's gets messed up. Oh no. Another Lily's, okay. Yeah. Triple acceleration, Grand Tree, Greninja. Under item lock, nice. Oh, I mean, maybe I can come back if I can make. Probably only have one stretcher, so I can't make another Froslass line. Actually, oh, they're not gonna Monkey instead of Froslass. That definitely feels incorrect. I need the Froslass to generate damage on my board, so I can move to theirs. This is still gonna be extremely difficult, but I think we can come back. Alright, so this needs to grab. I think the Monkey... Oh, I play more copies of Monkeys. I think I'm going to grab the Snorunt. Or Lilies. Problem, though, is if they have another Barrage, whatever it's called. Okay, so I think if I play Counter Catcher, I don't think they can. I'm going to bench the Bidoof, just so if they knock this out, then I'm okay. I'm going to bring this up, so if they have Dusclops, it's fine. Alright, next turn we Grand Tree into this. Because they have Grand Tree for Dusclops guaranteed if they want, right? So... Unless they prized it. I assume they're playing a 2-2-1 line. They might be playing a thicker line with this deck, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah, friends, I don't think I have enough time to set up the Greninjas to be knocked out. And the other thing is they get Shinobi Blade every turn. Because here, if they just like knock out their Dusclops, their board is 2 Greninjas. I don't think I can get through it. Because then if I make a Blood Moon... My Blood Moon just gets knocked out because it's weak to fighting. Okay, they didn't grab anything. Maybe Dusclops is prized. Boss on Froslass. Oh, they keep going after Monkey. I don't love, but I don't think is like that ridiculous. Alright, let's see. Put a Bidoof. I'll start with Grand Tree. I think our only hope is CC and they have nothing. And then... Don't have my hopes up though. Need Monkey Dark as well. Okay, there's Monkey. Next turn I can Counter Catcher, I guess. Like, they're just gonna Shinobi Blade every turn. Like, there's no way that their Duskull ever gets trapped, I think. That's the problem. Okay, attach, okay. Alright, so then we go Pokegear and Tyono, CC this, and they just get trapped forever. It's like our only way to win, but that assumes that their last Dusclops is also prized. Or I draw an Artisan, I guess, to bump the stadium. Alright. Go Bidoof. Alright, gear. There's Iono. Okay. Anyone went to CC? Okay. Then we have Monkey and Luminous. Alright. CC. But I didn't get a stadium, so unless this last prize card is a Dusclops, I'm pretty sure we're just hooked. Alright, so we're gonna move 30 here. Frogadier is 90, right? Yeah, so we'll move the last 10 to this. So we can get Devoed. And we Pollen and we Pray. Oh, there's got energy, okay. GG. Not much I could have done there.